Okay, so in last sessions we learned the how to computing the taxable income of the firm. Okay, so after adding 4 rates of income and all these items, you're going to get taxable income of the firm. After computing the taxable income of the firm, we have to calculate the tax liability, right? So at what rate we have to calculate the tax liability is nothing but as per assessment year 2019-20. So the taxable income of the firm is 30%. Okay, on that income you have to calculate 30% whatever the taxable income you got under after calculating all these 4 rates of income. So and next one is add any kind of surcharge if it is there. When it surcharge will going to be applicable, the surcharge will going to be applicable if the turnover of the company, if it is exceeds, that is taxable income of the company, if it is exceeds above 1 crore. Okay, 1 crore to 10 crore, 7% is a surcharge you have to pay. Above 10 crore, 12% you have to be paid to the government. Okay, so if you add both the amount, you will going to get one amount. On this amount you have to calculate the compulsory 4% health and educational cess. It is a mandatory, every company they have to be calculate. Okay, after adding all this tax payable to the government, you will going to be get this amount will going to be paid to the government. But in case surcharge is, if it is not provided in the problem, you have to calculate 30% of taxable income. You will going to get some amount. On that amount you have to calculate compulsory 4% health and educational cess. Add both the amount. That both the amount, if you after adding this amount, you will going to be paid to the government of India. Okay, so next one is in last sessions we learned the when you are computing the taxable income of the business or book profit, we calculated the book profit. After book profit, I written here one thing. One is deduction under section 40 class B. Under that we have to deduct actual remuneration paid. This amount will going to be provided in the problem under the P&L account credit side. That amount and or maximum remuneration allowed. Maximum remuneration allowed we have to write here. Whichever is less compared to this both the amount, that amount you have to subtract from the book profit. Finally you will going to get taxable income of the business. That amount you have to write under this format, income from business or profession. Okay, so let's learn what is a maximum remuneration allowed as per the income tax point of view. As per the assessment of firm is nothing but, so working note, computation of taxable income of the remuneration allowed up to the partner is in case of book profit is a loss. Let's take it as example. This book profit, if you got as a loss, maximum remuneration allowed is how much is nothing but 1,50,000 rupees in case of book profit is a loss. So in case book profit is a profit, in case if this one is got as a profit, how to compute is nothing but two situation will going to be arises. First we have to calculate for the first 3 lakh you have to calculate is 1,50,000. This is a standard one. 1,50,000 you have to write, and 90% of the book profit, that means 90% of the 3 lakh rupees you have to calculate. You will going to get 2,70,000, I think so. Whichever is I, that one amount you have to write here. That means 1,50,000, 2,70,000 is how much. Whichever is I means which one is I, 2,70,000 only, right? The 2,70,000 you have to write. And if any kind of balance of book profit is, if it is there, on that book profit you have to calculate 60% of on that amount. So you have to write that amount, and both the amount if you add, you are going to get maximum remuneration allowed. That amount you have to write here, and whichever is less compare it and deduct here. Okay, so let's learn with an example one. Let's assume this book profit of the business I got after adding and deduct subtracted 4 lakh I got. Okay, so how to compute is on this 4 lakh, sir? So it is a profit only, right? So first 3 lakh of the book profit, how to compute is nothing but 1,50,000. 90% of the 3 lakh, 90% of the 3 lakh is nothing but 2,70,000 we got. Whichever is I is nothing but 2,70,000 you will going to write here. Next one is balance of book profit. I already out of 4 lakh I already calculated 3 lakh. How much is the balance is now left? 1 lakh, right? So on that 1 lakh into 60% you have to calculate. 60% is nothing but 60,000 you will going to get. 2,70,000 plus 60,000 you will going to get 3 lakh as a 3,30,000 you will going to get. That amount you will going to consider as a maximum remuneration is allowed. You have to write that amount here. Okay, let's assume in certain cases the book profit is less than 2,70,000. Okay, now let's take it as example. In my business as 2,50,000 only as a book profit. How to compute is that at that time is this one, it will not going to become, because excess of 3 lakh is not there in my business. Only my book profit is 2,50,000 only. So then how to compute is, sir? So 1,50,000, this one is the standard. 90% on, not on 3 lakh, 90% on 2,50,000 only, because my book profit is less than 3 lakh. So to 90% or 90% into 2,50,000, calculate some amount you will going to get. That amount you have to write. Whichever is I, that amount you will going to write under year. Okay, so this one will not going to become, because the balance is exceeding the 3 lakh is not there, right? Only my book profit is 2,50,000. This is how we will going to be calculate the maximum remuneration allowed. Once again I will repeat. In case of loss, 1,50,000. In case of profit, two things will going to become. So book profit is 3 lakh. First 3 lakh we have to calculate 1,50,000 or 90% of the book profit, that is 3 lakh. So we're going to get 2,70,000. Whichever is high, that amount you have to write, and balance if it is there, that amount you have to calculate 60%. Let's assume my book profit is 40 lakh, 4 lakh I got, and 3 lakh in 3 lakh, first 3 lakh you have to calculate 1,50,000 into 90% of 3 lakh is nothing but 2,70,000, whichever is I means 2,70,000 we will going to get. And balance of book profit is how much is the balance left out of 4 lakh. So I already calculated 3 lakh, so remaining 1 lakh, that 1 lakh into 60% you have to calculate. So write that amount here, add both the amount. This is considered as a maximum remuneration allowed. In case sometimes the book profit of the company, if it is the less than 3 lakh, you have to calculate first less than 3 lakh is nothing but 1,50,000. How much? Let's take it as example, 2,50,000 only I earn the book profit. So write 90% into 2,50,000 only. So whichever is high, that amount we got, will get that amount you have to write here. So this amount will not going to become, because it is not my book profit is not more than 3 lakh, right? So that's why it will not come. When it will come, if it is exceeding 3 lakh. Okay, this is how we will going to be calculate the maximum remuneration allowed. So, but very important, in order to claim deduction as a maximum remuneration, so you have to be satisfy certain condition under section 184. So what are the condition need to be satisfied? I will going to be explain it now. So first one is under section 184 specify four specification. What are that four specification? Is nothing but the firm must be evidenced by an instrument. What in by an instrument is nothing but partnership deed. I already explained, whenever the firm need to be partnership firm need to be formed, we should have a partnership deed should be there. There should be an agreement between the partners. So that's why that they are telling first condition is there should be an evidenced by an instrument, that is partnership deed. Next one is second basic condition is whatever the sharing of the profit or remuneration is provided to the partners, it should be according to the partnership deed only. You have to be specifically mention how much of share of profit I am distributing to my partners, how much of remuneration I am paying to the partners. You have to be specified clearly under the partnership instrument or partnership deed. And fourth one is when you are filing the return to the income tax department for the first time, you have to be give a certified copy of that partnership deed along with the return of income form for the first year. Not every year, only first year when you are computing the taxable income along with return of income, you have to be give the certified copy of instrument of the partnership deed, whatever you are specified. Okay, so again when you are have to be submit that partnership deed is nothing but if any kind of changes in the Constitution of India or any kind of profit sharing ratio, if it is changes, then only you have to be submit revised copy of instrument. Otherwise no need to specify every year. Okay, these are the four conditions. Once again I will repeat. First one is the firm must be evidenced by an instrument. Second one is whatever the share of profits or remuneration paid to the partners, it should be according to the partnership deed. And you have to be, when you are filing the returns for the first time, you have to be give a certified copy of what partnership deed to the government. And third one is when you have to be submit again revised copy is nothing but when there is any kind of changes in the Constitution of law or any kind of sharing profit ratio, if it is changes, at that time only you have to be submit to the government. Okay, this is of one thing. And section 40 class B, we have to be satisfy certain condition. I already explained. So in order to claim deduction under section when you are computing the book profit, so section class 40B, if you satisfy this in order to claim this deduction under the book profit, you have to satisfy in order to maximum remuneration allowed in order to deduct means you have to satisfy four condition. What are the four condition is nothing but it is specifically mentioned under section class 40 class B. What are these condition is nothing but first one is remuneration is to be provided only to the working partner. If it is provided to the sleeping partners, maximum remuneration when you are computing, don't take into consideration of remuneration of the one sleeping partner. What is the differences between working partner or sleeping partner or non non-working partner is nothing but working partners are the partners who are actively involved in the organization for all the operational activities of the business. Non-working partner or sleeping partner is nothing but is not actively involving, is receiving the remuneration or the sharing of the profits only. So when you are computing the remuneration deduction under maximum remuneration, you have to take whatever the remuneration received by the working partner only. If it is a non-working partner, if it is a sleeping partner is given in the problem, please ignore it, don't consider for calculation purpose. Okay, this is the first point. Next one is, second point is, whatever the remuneration you have provided to the working partner, it has to be provided according to the partnership deed. So whatever the partnership deed has been mentioned, this much of amount we have to be paid to the partners, that much amount only you have to be give to the remuneration. You should not give more than that. Okay, this is the second condition. Third condition is nothing but whatever the remuneration you are paying to the partners, you should be paid after execution of the partnership deed. Before execution of the partnership, whatever the remuneration if you are paying, it is not applicable for deduction and area. Deduction when it will applicable, it should be paid after the execution of that partnership deed. So this is a third condition. And fourth condition is, remuneration should not be exceeds the maximum limit. So what is meant by maximum limit? This one I already explained. This one, maximum, it should not exceed the maximum limit of the computation. Okay, so if you satisfy all these four conditions, you are liable to deduct under section 40 class B. Once again I will repeat. First one is, remuneration should be paid only to the working partner only. If it is a non-working partner, a sleeping partner, if you are paying, don't take into consideration for calculation purpose. And second thing is, whatever the remuneration if you are paying, that remuneration should be paid according to the partnership deed, and remuneration should be paid after the execution of the partnership deed. And fourth one is, remuneration should not be exceeds the maximum limit which is prescribed under the provision. So this is a provision. Okay, so this is how we're going to be computing the taxable income of the firm, and along with I will going to be simply specified one thing. So whatever the profit of the firm, if it is distributed to the shareholders, only taxable in the hands of the firm. If it is distributed to the partners, it is not taxable to the in the hands of the partner, because whenever the firm is earning the profit, they are already pay the tax on that amount. Again, if you distribute that profit to the partners, if you impose tax on that, it will becoming a cascading effect. So that's why we're not going to be computing the taxable income on that. Next one is, second condition is, interest received by the partners. Interest received by the partners, how to computing the taxable income is nothing but in the hands of the firm, in the hands of the partner. Up to 12% is taxable in the hands of the partner. In the when you are computing the taxable income of the book profit or business, up to 12% is not taxable in the hands of the firm, because it is considered as an allowable expenses only. Okay, next, if it is excess of 12%, if it is there in the hands of the partners, it is an exempted. In the excess of 12%, if it is there, it is a taxable in the hands of the firm. It is considered as a non-business expenses. Once again I will repeat, interest received by the partner up to 12% is taxable in the hands of the that is partner. It is not taxable in the hands of the firm. It is considered as a business expenses only. If it is excess of 12% is provided, it is exempted in the hands of the partner, and it is in the hands of the firm, it is considered as a taxable as a non-business expenses. So this is how we're going to be computing the taxable income of the firm. Okay, so next sessions we're going to be start with some problems and solutions. Okay, hope everyone will going to be understand. So if you have any doubts, you can put your doubts on the comment. So thank you, have a nice day.